Welcome to our school's podcast. Here we're going to show you how teachers, parents, and pupils can share advice, tips, and know-how to bring the best out of all of us. Learning is a joint experience, and through our series of interviews, we can all learn more and achieve even greater things. Here is this week's host.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Of course, this is the Grizzly Talk podcast with your host, K.L.P. Kennedy Lucas Patterson, however you want to say my name. That's quite funny, y'all. So as you guys know, I go by K.L.P. on my other show. So we just wrapped up doing our other show, so I'm kind of in the habit of doing my intro as K.L.P. But Kennedy Patterson for the Grizzly Talk podcast for my GTC community. Hopefully you guys are staying tremendously well. Honestly, I see people on my Instagram, and I try to make sure that I know that they're okay. And based off people's posts and based off things that people are doing nowadays, that it seems that everyone is going really, really well. Things are happening, still are happening. You got the coronavirus pandemic still going on. You've got, of course, our favorite Black Lives Matter movement that's still going on. So hopefully you guys are staying safe. Please stay super duper safe out there in the world, GGC community, because I care about you guys, and I want to make sure that you guys are safe out there in this world. I know it's tough, it is hard, and we're going through a lot of things right now. So hopefully you guys are staying safe for that, for sure. Welcome back to the Grizzly Talk podcast. I know I haven't been doing our shows as many days as I would like to. Of course, you guys know when we talked about it at the very beginning of the pandemic and very beginning of the summertime, not much was going on when it came to GGC. So finally, we have some things that are coming out that I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about if you didn't know about it already. When it comes to film news, of course, we're still getting ready to film the documentary of Corona versus America. We are still looking for students to be a part of that film. It is a student film. We've got some people who are interested into the movie already. I've been getting emails and they're asking me, they're saying, Kennedy, when are we starting production? Kennedy, when are you filming? Kennedy, when are you filming? I am filming, ladies and gentlemen. It takes a little bit of time. We are expected to start filming that documentary film for GGC in September. That is subject to change, obviously, due to the pandemic. I don't know how things are going to roll out 100%. When we've been filming our films, we've been operating at a closed set, and that's a little bit different. Now we got to go out on the film to film this thing, so I don't know the impacts of it. Is planned that we start filming in September. So to the students who did ask me about it, it is happening. We're kind of waiting out the storm a little bit. We're waiting to see what else can happen before we can say a definite yes, because there's a lot of things that could change between now and September. So, just wanted to let the people know about that. That film is still coming, y'all. Just stay patient with us. We coming. We got it. Of course, we celebrated, Pride Month. If you guys didn't know or will notice, the Grizzly Bears logo has been changed to a beautiful rainbow. Of course, we celebrated. We join the Pride Month with everyone who is in the LGBTQ community. I do wanted to talk a little bit about that because I know a lot of people were a lot of people weren't upset about, the coronavirus and the pandemic and then the riots, is because, every year Pride Month is very special to the LGBTQ community. And this year is a little bit different because not much they can do within this community. There's not much that we can, have on the podcast. That's not too much that they can have going around. The parade was somehow, canceled due to the pandemic, so that hasn't happened. So a lot of people in the community were just kind of sad about it. I do say to the people who are sad about the LGBT community and really couldn't be that much active this year, I do say that there's always next year. And there's ways that you can go about it later on and within the year. So I'm pretty sure a lot of things are going to have some backlash. A lot of things are going to have some things that, might open up. You might have to change out your date. It might be Pride Month in June, but let's say you have a parade in September. You never know what can change in this world. We did a lot of changes in this world. So I really do hope that the LGBTQ, they have the opportunity to celebrate the Pride Month. It just hasn't been up to scale as many people have known it to be. So, we do have some news announcements. Of course, there's special news announcements from the Grizzly Talk Podcast Network. So we've been in the office today, and we've been working. We're still working. It's getting close. Well, it's past 5 o'clock. We got into the office at 12, and it's past 5 o'clock. So we've really been working, not only here at Grizzly Talk Podcast, but in general for K.L.P. Entertainment. So we've started this new thing. It is in beta test, and by the time you guys are seeing it, you may not see the trailer yet because we released another video today, so we don't like to publish too much. But we are starting to think about advertising and getting out an official Grizzly Talk Podcast newsletter. Yeah, so the newsletter. Let me know what you guys think. Of course, if you're listening to us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, please comment below, like us, email us. And if you're listening on our YouTube channel, please comment below. Let us know what you guys think about the official Grizzly Talk Podcast newsletter. This is in beta testing right now. We've done something very creative. You see, it's more catered to GGC athletics. So the reason why I thought of the newsletter is because I am, as most of you guys know this already, I am doing an internship with GGC Athletics, and one of our marketing plans were to develop a newsletter to send out to students via email at the Claw Mail. So we developed it, partnered with Element Magazine. If you guys don't know about Element Magazine, that is our hit magazine line that I own here at K.L.P. Entertainment. Very successful magazine line. So they're going to be in big partnership with us when developing these newsletters. And of course, we'll kind of use that same kind of style when we're writing our blogs. But besides the point, we're starting to develop a newsletter exclusively for GGC's podcast here, Grizzly Talk Podcast. So we want to know what you guys think about that. Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's a bad idea? What things can we change? We are advocating to the students. Now, our slogan goes a long way. Let your voices be heard. And I definitely want your voice to be heard on the podcast. I want it to be heard when it comes to this newsletter. I do want to know what you guys think about this. I do want to know how do you feel about the newsletter, and see is this something that could be added to the GTP network brand. Unfortunately, it will be only for the semester of fall semester. As many of you guys know, I am graduating in December. So of course it won't be running it'll be running for fall of 2020, but it probably not going to be running in spring of 2021 due to the fact that I am graduating. I mentioned that, and I'll say this in pretty much every podcast. I am looking for someone to groom. I am looking for someone to take my place when I'm long and gone and graduated from the Grizzly Talk Podcast and GGC in general. So if that's you, if you're listening to the podcast, if you have what it takes, please send me an email at kpatterson2@ggc.edu. So that way we can, of course, interview you. And if that is you, if you have what it takes to run a radio show, I really recommend it. It can go a long way. So just to let you guys know about that. But we have so many months. We have about 5 to 6 months left. So of course I'll still be kicking it around with the Grizzly Talk Podcast, honestly. So we're going to go on over to our Instagram. A lot of people are doing their Instagram feeds nowadays. Big shout out to my friend Shaheem. He did the Humans of the SISE. He writes, creatively, I feel like I need to know how I look each time a picture is taken of me, just to make sure I'm doing an awkward pose or making a weird face. I would say I was definitely scared at first and still am. I did find it hard to practice, but each situation, lighting circumstances and environment is different. So I could practice in my room all day, but it was not the same when you were actually modeling. Shaheem Harris, 2020, a graduate. So of course we saw him. He graduated from GGC, getting ready for that. So it's just really, really amazing to see that my friend Shaheem has come a long way with GGC. So I'm hopeful. I'm glad. It makes me excited for my graduation day, So, of course, GGC get involved. Of course, they're still doing their Instagram really, really well. They did a polling. They did a hashtag polling time. You guys can respond to this polling time. Of course, they published this about 4 hours ago, so it should still be up. If you just go to your Instagram, type in GGC underscore get involved. About 800 followers there. That's really, really good following base. Would you rather taking classes online or in the class in general? A lot of people say 70% say in class versus online. This is a great topic to talk about because I know a lot of people are doing most of us, if you are in summer school right now, you are heavily booked on online courses. I would vote, I say in class because it makes the engagement more involved. You get to see all of your classmates. I do miss seeing classmates. So I can go two ways with this GGC community. So I do like the online courses because it is scheduled around your time when it's convenient for you. Minus the exams. The exams, they open at a certain period time point. You get a time frame for that. So I do like the online courses for that because you're able to work at your pace. I do take my work at my job, either if it's my office at K.L.P. Entertainment or my office at Property Management, or even if I'm out on the filming somewhere, I'm taking some sort of schoolwork with me when I have that free time. So for an example, when I'm in the office of Property Management, I am in Atlanta, and I'm able to take my work with me so that way when I have some downtime, I can work a little bit on my schoolwork. I do like the in classes because I'm able to meet classmates, and we able to meet physically face to face, and it's just, that college experience that you're having. Now, some people might disagree with me. Some people like the online because they can work whenever they can within their own time. I do like the online for that. One thing I don't like about the online, and I guess many GGC students who are taking summer courses right now, they can agree. I don't like the whole monitoring thing. GGC, if you're listening, I will speak the truth here. I do not like the monitoring with the webcam thing because it gives me test anxiety. I already have huge test anxiety already, and that makes me more nervous, to say the least, that there's a webcam that's on watching me take my exam. It just makes me a little bit nervous. You never know what goes around within our homes. You don't know if it could be an emergency. You don't know if you can have a fire in your home. You don't know if your power goes out. It's just quite embarrassing to me. So luckily, thank God, as I knock on wood, that hasn't happened yet. But that makes me nervous. It really does make me nervous. I have to show around my desk, and it's just, I'm showing my personal home. One thing I do keep privacy. I don't keep my studio private that much because, you guys know what the studio looks like. But when it comes to my home or my vehicle or anything like that, I try to keep very personal and private. Sometimes I'm at my house taking my exam and I have to show my office, and it makes me feel nervous because I know that professors are only looking at this webcam, but what if it leaks? What if somebody figure out where I live, the things I have in my home, and try to come rob me? So that makes me a little bit nervous with the webcam scenario. I don't like it. It did jitter out. I do believe that and I have a MacBook. I do believe that, my MacBook got corrupted with some ads that would just pop up. Now, granted, I'm not going to these funny sites, because if you go to funny sites, of course you're going to have pop-ups and ad pop-ups, but I don't go to funny sites, I'll be honest. Ever since I've developed the lockdown browser with the webcam, I've been getting unexpected unexpected pop-ups come up when I'm doing something, and that, to me, bothers me. And I think that webcam had a little something to do with that, because I didn't have it before when I first started some school, and now that I have the webcam lockdown browser, now I'm having these unexpected pop-ups, and it's weird, and I just don't know how to clear them, so I have to go and buy a service to clean my laptop again. So, it's just one of the things I don't like. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's podcast. I know this was a long one. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and follow the Grizzly Talk Podcast on our Instagram at Grizzly_Talk, of course, for that Instagram. So for right now, that has been the Grizzly Talk Podcast. To my GGC community, stay safe and go Grizzlies.
what you've heard on this week's episode? Well, the answer is simple. It would mean the world to us if you could head over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review and feedback. Spreading the word